the outstanding thing that we've done on the business side, and that has persisted the most strongly for the longest period, is sticking to the mission. You know, back in 1978, when I started Citibank's convertible bond fund, one of my bosses there said to me, well, why don't you put in some common stocks? I said, well, why would we do that? It's a convertible bond fund. And he said, well, that way you can get higher returns. I said, well, that sounds like a great idea. Then why don't we put in some oil, some gold, and some old master paintings too, you know? And my approach was always to tell the client what you're going to do and then do it. And I think that if you do that, you eliminate 80 or 90% of the reasons for dissatisfaction. You know, if you're not clear about what you're going to do, or you're clear about what you're going to do but you don't stick to it, then you can have a lot of problems with that client. You know, and to me, we've never had a client say, oh, you know what, I was surprised to see that in my portfolio. I didn't think that was what you were going to do. To me, if the client says that, that's a death knell. That means you either weren't clear about what you were going to do or you didn't stick to it. But if you tell them what you're going to do and do it, you've solved a lot of problems. It happens to be a feature of the institutional world that if you try to do what you said you were going to do and mess up, that's bad. But if you try something else and mess up, that's many times worse if you go outside your territory. And so again, by saying what you'll do and sticking to it, you've avoided one of the big reasons for client dissatisfaction. So that's one of the things. Look, there are many, many things. I wrote a book called The Most Important Thing, just, I guess, to prove that there is no one most important thing. There are 21 chapters. And I'm sure I didn't cover everything. But so I can't tell your beginning investor a secret formula. But I think that a thought-out approach, held with discipline, unemotional behavior, sticking to your last, these are some of the fundamental things that I think will lead to success. But none of it matters if you don't have superior insight. You can do all those things, but if you're just an average person, and most people are average, you know. Peter Vermillier, my boss at Citi, used to say that only 5% of analysts add any value. You know, this is not a business where everybody has the same insight or above average insight, only a few people. And so you have to do all those other things I talked about, but you also have to be able to think different from the crowd and better. And you know, the first chapter of the book says the most important thing is second level thinking, different and better.